All right, happy Friday, everybody, from the X1039 studio. It is Music in Motion, What's New Now for Friday, July 16th. I'm Cate.
I'm Shawn.
And I'm Summer.
Summer, why are you wearing a mask? It's 2021.
I went to Vegas. I had a blast. And then I get home and I find out that even vaccinated people like myself are catching COVID and spreading it around. So out of an abundance of caution, I have my mask on to protect you and Cate and everybody else I care about here at
You the best. But did you have fun in Vegas?
Oh my gosh, it was a blast.
It seems like a good place to go as everything has opened up suddenly. Because to me, that's what happened. All of a sudden, we're open.
Yeah.
And so Vegas seems like the ultimate place to go just to like blow it all out.
And I was super comfortable, and now I'm kind of kicking myself because I'm like, every morning it's back to like last year, you know, when you go to the grocery store and you wake up the next day and you're like, am I okay? Like, it's kind of back to that. But while I was in the moment, oh my gosh, it was a blast. It was so much fun.
Well, we talked about that. I think just how when you're in Vegas, you just aren't thinking about anything.
No.
That's why, like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas is a thing. You're just, like, living it up, you know?
Yeah.
So, well, welcome back.
Thank you.
And we're glad you're jumping on this week because there's so much to talk about when it comes to new music, which is basically what we're going to tackle each week as we keep going, dropping in with what's new now or any kind of new news, you know, maybe big concert, big whatever. So let's jump right into it because some very important albums came out today.
Make sure to rate, review, subscribe. You can also follow our social media at X1039 Radio to stay up to date on everything happening new in the week.
Cate, Summer, have you listened to the new Clairo?
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, yes. It is.
Did it put you to sleep?
I listened to it this morning at like 7 o'clock. That's the first thing I did when I woke up. And I had my headphones in and I'm all...
I
was like,
exactly.
it's going to put me to sleep, but in a good way. Like, that's...
So I only listened to part of it for that reason because I was like, man, this is a Sunday morning album. I can't listen to this right now. It's Friday morning. I got to get in the groove. And I switched to Willow. We'll talk about Willow later. But let's talk about Clairo because this is a long wait, right, for this
waiting.
album. How long? You're a super fan.
I'm a super fan. So Immunity, I've been playing at least since November of 2019. And this new album, nothing like it. And it's her sophomore album. So I was just excited to hear it. And apparently she was thinking about not even continuing with her music, which is crazy. But
I like her. This is not important, but I like her haircut.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
It's cool. I like her
Yeah.
short hair. And she gets to work with some really amazing people. She's just, I don't know. She's special.
We're 3.5 minutes in. We can talk about Jack Antonoff now.
Here we go. Kate's moment. All right, go.
Yeah, I mean, it was co-produced by Jack Antonoff. I read that she originally turned it down working with him because she was too scared to work with him because of his resume, I guess. But then I guess they met and she's like, okay, I feel comfortable working with him.
Yeah,
I'd probably
don't turn that down.
Yeah,
I know.
it's crazy. Man, it's just, I couldn't even put my finger on what it reminds me of. There's so many layers to everything. It's like, is this the 60s easygoing soundtrack? Is this Azure Ray?
I hear
Big
some Joni
Star.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
in it.
Big Star. Like, there's definitely some really cool sort of folky alternative, but at the same time, that AM Gold,
Yeah.
Laurel Canyon kind of feel. Not as far as like Lana Del Rey or anything like that, but it's definitely, I get the 60s. And we're talking like folk 60s. Yeah.
There are some parts on the album because of, some of the jazz instruments that you hear in some of it where I picture her recording it like she's standing on stage in like a 1940s bar with a shiny blue curtain behind her and everyone's smoking cigarettes and watching her. I was driving in listening to it again.
I love
and that's what I pictured.
Man.
I was like, so that goes back like a lot of people are saying it's very 60s, 70s, but that goes back to like some 40s vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
But you hear it.
And you can hear Jack Antonoff's influence in it too.
Yeah,
like,
you can.
It's got its own distinctive sound on that.
It's storytelling.
Yeah. And really
he's a great
cool,
storyteller.
Lord is the backing vocals on Blouse.
Yeah,
So,
they're
like,
definitely crossing over
I
a lot
love
with
it.
each other, which is really cool. So do we give it thumbs up. I can only give it 1 because I haven't listened to the whole thing. So, but from what I was listening, I was really enjoying it. But I was like, no, I got to get to work. I got to get in gear. Nothing on that. It's just a really chill album.
Yeah, it's really chill.
At some point this weekend, it's good for sitting in the bathtub with a glass of wine.
Yeah,
and
Cate has a
listening to
plan.
it.
Cate has a plan.
Yeah, that's a little glimpse as to what I'm
CBD
doing.
bath bomb?
With a bath bomb, yeah.
So speaking of 60s, I'll Be Your Mirror was announced, which is a Velvet Underground tribute. A lot of amazing artists on it. We're talking Iggy Pop. We're talking St. Vincent. But we got our first taste of it earlier in the week from Kurt Vile covering Run, Run, Run. And it is brilliant. It sounds like the Velvet Underground version. He didn't stray too far away from that. And I think in an interview I read with Kurt Vile, he was like, in my first band when I was in high school, we actually covered this. So I think it's probably something cool for him to be on a whole album, with like amazing artists. Out September 24th. So just like mark your calendars for that. If you're a Velvet Underground fan like I am, you're going to want this. Let's go into it. The
future.
With the future, the present, but also just the album that I jumped on this morning because I needed to be awake. I needed to have some attitude. And I knew Willow was going to deliver that on her new album. I don't know. Have you guys taken it in before we jump into it?
Yes.
I always listen to albums if the first track is something we've heard before, which is Transparent Soul. I always skip to the very end and because I
go
know
backwards.
No, I mean the very end of the song.
Oh, okay.
And then I just get into
from
it.
bottom to top.
No.
I go to last 10 seconds because I'm like I
what'd you
know
think?
it,
Because
but it goes right into that
fuck you,
and I was like.
I know. It's so punk rock, and it's so like she's like exercising some demons or something. And I was like, thank you. This is what I needed, Willow. Damn it. I needed to wake my ass up. So she did it.
The song that is next, Gaslight, that's my favorite so
That is
far.
a really good. That's a solid song. And
I
probably the next single, don't you think?
I
Probably.
think so. I think it's why it stuck out to me so much. It's short. It does that pop punk so well, which is something we've talked about a little bit recently, which is a lot of artists are trying it because it just had this crazy resurgence in sound.
See,
and not
I love it.
everyone can do it.
No.
Not
and
everyone
so when
can
you
do
hear
it,
that
no.
somebody can do it, because it is kind of like a formulaic sound that
I know,
you
but
that you
it
think you
can.
can tackle, but not everybody can. And she does it so well on this album and that song.
I want to throw a wrench in the pop punk thing because listening to this album, I think it's more than that. And I didn't hear just that sound, that formula, throughout this album. This album is a free form. I mean, there is a lot of movement in it. There's rap. There's still some sort of like soul sounds, or it goes all over, but it still is just a huge punch in the gut. And I just think it's solid, and it's exciting that she is proving a lot of people wrong, I guess. And she's obviously like a fan of metal, rock, punk, because I don't think you can put out an album like this faking it. Her mom was a metalhead in the early 2000s, so she toured with her mom when she was just a little toddler, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously she's had that influence, and I think she comes from a family that listens to a lot of different music. You can just tell someone who was raised on everything. She's being compared to Avril Lavigne. I don't hear it. I'm not an Avril Lavigne fan because I didn't listen to her. But she's on the album
Yeah, I was
with
gonna
her.
say she has a song on the album with her.
Yeah.
Called
so,
Grow, and it's got Travis Barker. Like those are like pop punk kings and queens. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I was too old for pop punk. I was
That was
not
my
into
heyday,
it.
girl.
No, I know. And so that's why I guess I'm easily I know what that sound is, and to me, that's not what this is all about.
No.
So I don't know. I
can
be
hear
wrong.
a lot of different influences on it for sure, but
Kind of sums up her whole career because she's one that has just dabbled in everything.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And it feels like she's bringing all of those things together and then saying, this is me. This is who I am. This is my sound. It's so cool when you reach a certain age and you start feeling that way too.
Yeah.
You're like, I tried this. I tried that. I hung out with these people. But now, look, this is me. I can be my own person.
speaking of pop punk and like.
Do you think Turnstile's pop punk?
No.
Okay.
But
hardcore, a form of hardcore.
Hardcore and pop punk kind of go hand in hand because those are the things that I loved back in the early 2000s. So like going to shows, I'd either, get in the pit and like windmill dance, kick people,
sure,
and punch people, and
yeah, I'd like to see that. Can we time travel and watch Summer punching people? You're so nice. You're like, hi, I'm Summer in the morning, and also I used to punch people when I do windmills in the pit.
When I first heard Turnstile's "Love Connection," the bass line of the first song, "Holiday," reminded me of Fugazi, like Waiting Room, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then when it kicks in, like that drums, like that just made me want to start hitting people. I don't know. I'm not violent, but
I've not seen them live, but to me, like just watching video and actually their new video that's out, which it's all live. I just want to see them live so much and experience that for sure.
And it's cool because all the music they put out is so different. Like it's you got the ones that are like punching you in the face, and then you have the new one, Alien Love, featuring Blood Orange, and that's like, what is this?
And that's the video I'm talking about. Like, definitely go check out that video. But that song is smooth and weird and cool. I love it. It's very cool. So if you want to hit up our website, 1039rxp.com, Summer will get it up on your page, right?
Yeah. I'm just gushing over Turnstile. Like anything they do, I'm just eating it up. I love it.
We have Revolution Rock on Sundays on X1039. It's from 5 to 7. But Andy Crowley and I used to do that together. And on our very first show on X1039, we played Blood Orange, and this guy called so mad.
What?
Yeah. He went off. He felt like it was an offbeat sound that caused people to get stressed out and like lose their mind, and that we could cause people to go crazy. And he just went on and on over Blood Orange. I was like, are you serious?
You're like, I'm honored. Do you think I can manipulate people like that?
Right, exactly.
I mean, Blood Orange has his own like resume, which is awesome. Like he was on Saddle Creek, or he worked with the Saddle Creek producers, with like members of Tilly and the Well. So many artists that I adore. I loved Saddle Creek growing up, and I mean, he's scored soundtracks. Like,
right. Yeah. And he just captures people.
Yeah.
You just get emotionally attached to that music.
All right, I got a couple more I'm going to throw out. Plenty of new music to check out as we get into the weekend. Walk the Moon released 3 new songs this week. Can You Handle My Love is the single. Also Giants and I'm Good. Can You Handle My Love and I'm Good, very much like Walk the Moon we've been hearing for the last few years, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. But Giants goes back to like the Walk the Moon I fell in love with, like first album, 2012 debut album.
Like Anna's Son-ish?
Yeah, Jenny, Tightrope, songs like that.
Nice.
That's what I fell in love with. So
yeah.
Giants for me has been on repeat. And I will throw out that Bleachers did premiere a new song this week as part of the Tiny Desk concert series. It's called 91. That's it. I got it in.
I love the little shtick in our podcast of you talking about Bleachers, Jack Antonoff, whatever.
Oh, then get ready for the 30th. Also, I want to point out, I share a lot of feelings in that Tiny Desk series that they put out, because the first song, he's playing the piano and he's looking down like this, and he's pushing up his glasses every 5 seconds. And I got glasses recently that just don't really fit that well, so I'm always doing this. And one of the top comments is, really, Jack Antonoff can't afford glasses that fit?
Those
Heavier
thick frames, they don't stay out no matter what you do. They just fall off. Exactly. Yep. So they look cool.
I feel you, Jack. So yeah, plenty of music to check out this weekend. I'm going to be listening to, like I said, the new Clairo in the bath. It's good bath music.
And real quick before we go, a new EP out from Jawny. All right, everybody check it out. It won't take you long. There's just, it's an EP. The story of Hugo. It is fantastic. It has a Beck feel to it. I'm not really sure why his label is trying to get us to play Honey Pie, which came out in 2019. And we've already played it, but it was before he was on that label on Interscope. And so now they're like, here's Jawny. here's this song that already has a lot of streams and a lot of views on YouTube and all this. So this is a safe one, but seriously, it's cool, but go straight to the story of Hugo. And even before that, For Abby, the album that came out last year before that. So it kind of tells a story, and you kind of get some insight on Jawny and what he goes through as an artist, I think. He has like conversation calls that are included before the songs. So if I've lured you in, you're welcome. Check it out. And good job, Jawny. I dig it.
It's Jawny, by the way.
There you go. Good job, Summer. Remember to subscribe, rate us, even though, if you hate it, fine. But either way, it gives us insight, right?
Sure.
Hit up our website, 1039rxp.com. And, of course, our socials. You can search us out, X1039, or find them right there on the website.